So in this video, we're going to look at an example on how to write the equation of a line using the point-slope form of a line. Now there are lots of different ways to write the equation of a line, but in this video, I'm going to focus on the point-slope form. So let's remind ourselves of what the point-slope form is. The point-slope form of a line is written as y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x sub 1, where this x sub 1 and y sub 1, so where x sub 1 and y sub 1, where is a point on the line. Okay? And then here also m is the slope of the line, and m is the slope of the line. So I usually tell my students that anytime they're given a problem where they have a point on the line and they also know the slope of the line, they should consider using the point-slope form of a line to write the equation of that line. So let's take a look at S-3, and you can find this on page 201. And feel free to pause the video at any point where you want to stop and work along with me. Let's take a look at this problem. It says, suppose that f is a linear function. So right away, anytime you see the word linear function, you should think of y equals mx plus b, okay? All right, so we're told that f is a linear function such that f of 3 equals 7. If the slope of f is 2.7, then what is f of 5? So this is quite a loaded question. In order for us to find out what f of 5 is, the first thing that we need to do is we need to write the equation of the line for f. And then once we have that equation, then we can evaluate it and find f of 5. So let's break this problem down and see what we have. So the first thing that we are given is we're given this point, f of 3 equals 7. Now recall back in chapter 1 when we first learned about functional notation, we said that we can rewrite the output of a function, so we can rewrite y as f of x, or I can reverse this and say f of x is equal to y. This means that f of x is the output when the input is x. Okay? All right, so here, when we're given f of 3 equals 7, I'm going to just rewrite this underneath our notation here. Right? This actually gives us an ordered pair, or a point. This gives us the point 3, 7. All right, now how do I know that that's the point 3, 7? Because this notation tells us that when x is 3, y is 7. Okay, so now I have a point on the line that I'm trying to write the equation for. So I'm going to call this x sub 1, and I'm going to call this y sub 1. Okay, what other piece of information are we given? We're also told that the slope is 2.7. So that's another piece of information that we're given. So I'm going to write that down. Okay, we know that the slope is 2.7. Okay, so going back to what I said earlier, anytime you're given a point and the slope of a line, the easiest way to write the equation of that line is to use the point-slope formula. So let me just rewrite that point-slope form down here again. And then now all we're going to do is just substitute our point and our slope, and then rewrite the form in slope-intercept form, which is this form right here. So that's slope-intercept form. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our substitution. Right, y minus, so when y is 7, and when our slope is 2.7, x is 3. Okay, so notice all I did was just substitute my point into the slope point form, or excuse me, the point slope form. And then now I'm going to just clean this up. So what we have right here is we have the point slope form of a line. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve this equation for y so that I can end up with an equation that's written in the form of y equals mx plus b, which is called the slope-intercept form. Okay? So with that said, there's nothing wrong with leaving your answer like this. This will give you the equation of the line, right, that goes through the point 3 comma 7 with a slope of 2.7. But it's much easier to recognize that line if we solve this equation for y and get it into the slope-intercept form. So to do that, let's simplify this equation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to distribute this 2 to the quantities inside the parentheses. So that gives us y minus 7 is equal to 2.7x, and then 2.7 times negative 3 gives us negative 8.1. Okay, and then now I'm going to add 7 to both sides to solve for y. So on the left-hand side here, I've got y is equal to 2.7x minus 1.1. So this is the equation of our line written in slope-intercept form. So let me just move this out. So that gives us the equation of the line written in slope-intercept form. And if you wanted to use the notation to rewrite this y, we can rewrite this as f of x. Since up here we said that f of x is the same thing as y, so we can just substitute y with f of x. And so the equation of this line, f, is 2.7x minus 1.1. Okay, so now that we have this beautiful equation, we can actually now go back and answer this question. What is f of 5? So this question, which is asking us, what is f of 5? This is saying, what is y when x is 5? Okay, so find the output when the input is 5. Well, we have the function, so let's just substitute and then evaluate the function when x is 5. So all I'm doing here is substituting in 5 for x and then evaluating the function. All right, so what do we get here? We get 2.7 times 5 minus 1.1, which is 13.5. So f of 5 is equal to 13.5.